I was just sitting here talking to myself, as I always do. Well, not to myself. Obviously, I have the King with me, right, in his word. But I was sitting here saying, right, in the scripture, there is a scripture that says hell is in the heart of the earth. Hell is in the heart of the earth. So I'm like, if hell is the literal heart of this earth, how wicked is the earth? How wicked is this world if hell is its literal heart? And then I said, as I was sitting here thinking, because he bought me to Hosea today, I just got off, and then I decided to go back and finish reading mine. I do this all day long, in and out this word, in and out this word. Sometimes it be so heavy, I got to take a break. I got to take a break from the word because I really be in this like that. I really be in this like that. Y'all, the videos that y'all see, that took work. That was years of studying. I've been on this walk for 18 years. My daughter is 18 years old. That's how long I've been on this walk, seeking. It started with me seeking truth in general. Now, I always believed in God. I never questioned that for some reason. I never questioned. I sit here and think to this day, because as I sit here and look at how hard it is for the people to believe in God, right? How hard it is for the people to believe in God. I'm like, I don't remember a time where I never believed in his existence. Now, speaking on his power and how he could do in my life, that took some work. That took a lot of trials and tribulations to build my faith. And let me tell you how God worked with me. Because he know how to build your faith. He knows everybody. He know how to build your faith. He know the areas where you're weak at in your faith. He knows all. So for me, it's like this. I'm always in impossible situations. Always, because of the enemies that I've always had. And those enemies just happen to be the very people that raised me, right? And so I'm always in impossible situations. No way out, no road out, got me boxed in. I mean, understand, if someone is intentionally blocking you in intentionally on all sides, or every step you take, they make sure to destroy or stop you from getting there or whatever. Anyway, but point is, I had some very, very, very tough battles to get through my entire life. This ain't nothing new. This is about the 50th time that I've experienced the same thing. Be that as it may, there's more people involved now. But at the end of the day, the root is still the root, and that will always be my family. They got people to join in, but at the end of the day, it's still them. I just want to say and let y'all know, be careful what you ask for. Now, I was very intentional. Everything that I asked God, he has given me. But the things that I asked him for is not the things of the world, it's the things of the spirit. You know, I'm trying to be pure. I'm trying to be right with God without blemish, this and that and the third. And it all has to do with your heart, because the heart is the gateway to heaven or to hell. When God always talk about how he judging us and what he looking for, what is he doing? Searching and trying the reins of the hearts of man. Everything in the heart is a gateway. I'm telling you, it's a gateway. That's the only way. That's where he dwells at. Either God dwells in there or Satan dwells in there. You see what I noticed? Satan, he wants my heart. Everything he's done was to attack right here. I mean, using the most closest, my daughter, my family. The friends don't count because I really didn't have any to begin with. I just really technically met these people like this year. So I don't know, half of the people that's acting like, I don't know. Literally, the last girl I only knew for 2 months. We only worked together for 2 months, and somehow I owe you my life. I mean, you're still calling me to this day after everything is crazy. But anyway, back to me asking God for things, and he's always given me what I asked for. But the things that I asked for is of the spirit. And so I'll just say this. there's a thing that I always said to God. I'll tell you, I have a lot of PTSD from my family, bro. That's why no one else comes close. I don't care what you think you're doing. It's not, no one can be as ruthless as these people were to me, and still is, okay? 36 years. 36 years. Okay. Now, my thing is, because of them, as I got older and I started to be more independent, I had a child at 17 years old. You know what I mean? I conceived at 17, and then I had her, I actually delivered her when I was 18. And I raised my child up until last year, where other people wanted to get in the middle of us, and where she pretty much got initiated into the witchcraft side of the family. So now she's joining in with everyone and becoming just like them in regards to treating me and making me this family sacrifice, the scapegoat, whatever. I mean, it's crazy after everything. And so that's what Satan likes to do. I almost died for this girl, rightfully so. I'm talking about surviving, starving to make sure my child had things, making sure she had everything. I was a single mom. I didn't have no support, no government support. They said I make too much money, though it wasn't enough money for me and her and to pay all my bills and everything else. Cool, whatever. My daughter always had the latest gadgets, as if I could, right? Because she a teenager and everybody, yeah, but those things wasn't important. I tried to set my daughter up in a good program. I didn't have money, so I put her in early college. I pretty much wrote her essays for her to get to that program. It was a lottery slot for single, struggling parents. My daughter was in that program. My daughter had been going to school since she was able to go to school like every other child. My daughter has never, okay, hear me clearly, has never been in trouble in school. Especially with me leaving work and this is a big deal, and cops are involved, court cases that dragged on for months. The fact that I came to that school that night and they were all willing and ready to prepare to harvest me. How I got there at 4:00 and I didn't leave till 8 p.m. I'm talking on school campus, as they were trying to pry money out of me. We need you to get $800 because we got to put her in psychiatric and this and that. What? Okay, run it back. My daughter wrote a manifesto. She said how she was going to do this and that to the teachers because she's so tired of all this work. And then she said it's a joke. They wrote it as a joke. They were all, it was the last days of the semester and they up there making a fool. And then you gonna post it on social media. But get this, nobody knew. Nobody knew until she posted on, this is the story anyway, till she posted on social media. And one of her friends went back and told, they actually, first of all, they were in a trip. Her whole class went to Washington, D.C. Several of the children stayed behind. Mine was included. You know why? Because I didn't have the money. I didn't have the money to send her at 5, 6, and out. No, I didn't. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. So her and her little group of friends thought that was a great idea. I guess I said, well, if I were to pay for her to go to Washington, I would still have a place right now. She would still be in school. Well, she would graduate. She already graduated now. That's what I'm saying. She was at the end. At the end. Anyway. And so you said that your friend who was in Washington looked at the online thing and saw and called back to North Carolina to the school and told the teacher. So they snitched on you. That's what she's telling me. Anyway, some friends, right? Okay. And then, so now everybody's involved, all the kids that was around, and everybody pointing at my daughter. Well, Sanara wrote it. She signed her name, and the fool did sign her name. And so I said, this was all strategic. And I'm looking at my daughter like, none of this is making sense to me, Five. Like, none of this shit is making sense to me. Like, you know better. You did the most extreme, crazy thing that you could do. And now they talking about arresting you as a threat. They had just changed the law right before she got in trouble. Last year, a child went to jail because of this. Sanara would have had a record already. But they changed it, so she was lucky. But guess what? She still got kicked out of the program. Nobody else got kicked out. All right. After they tried to hustle me for $800 and they bringing up all this other stuff that has nothing to do with it, and the child says she did it for a joke, but she crazy, so I gotta give them $800 that I don't have. Mind you, I had just moved into my place. Perfect setup. There was people that was very upset about the new townhome that I had just moved into, that I worked my behind off for. I don't understand. I didn't ask anyone. No one was co-signer. I moved from one townhome to a new townhome because I was being harassed in this one. Day in and day out. Strangers, people's children. It's like all coordinated. I still have videos. I have videos and proof of everything because I knew nobody would ever believe me. I invested in videos. I invested in everything that I needed to invest in because, I can't explain why these people bothering me and kids banging on my door. I can't get no rest. I didn't get no day. Let me tell you, the coordinated attack from work, they all had this network attack at work. Because my people know people that know people in high places. I'm telling you, my mother was dating a freaking Freemason. Yeah, I don't even know where I really come from because it's not conspiracy that I'm talking. It's real life. Me growing up, me realizing that I was raised by witches this whole time, which made so much sense. I'll show you the last messages that I sent my family. Why I couldn't understand why they treated me like this my whole life from a baby girl. 5 years old, you calling me things like hoe. I don't even know what that is. And if y'all understood the type of child I was and how I started out to be, I was mute. Something was wrong with my mind. I was suppressed. I didn't know what was going on, nothing. Because I was born a crack baby, thanks to my mother and father. She was high when she gave birth to me in the hospital. She gave birth, she got up and she walked out. And that's all I know about her. She's dead today. My father's dead today. My grandma's dead today. I mean, Satan really did do a number on us. He really did. So it's very personal to me. I don't care about the other side of my family taking oaths with demons, talking about we witches and all this. Okay, I don't even know you guys. I just met y'all in my adulthood. And so for you to tell me, yeah, this is our family and you're Egyptian and you're a real witch and this and that and the third. That's neither here nor there. Now getting back to what I asked God for. So because of the type of things that I've seen in my family, I always ask God to please keep my heart pure. If you see me veering off or forgetting or getting big-headed and getting lost in the world and getting up and then I promise I don't want to be like the people that raised me. I don't want to be. I will be without nothing. I told God, God knew that I was telling the truth. What I asked him for these, I always asked him for this. When I got a job, when I switched to corporate, all right, because I was in security. When I switched to corporate security, things were different. I was so used to traditional. I was an armed guard. I was all type of guards as traditional security. You name it, I've done it. Bicycle officer, mobile patrol, everything. But corporate security was a whole different structure. And boy, I miss traditional security every day of my life when I decided to go into corporate. The games are much more, it's not my cup of tea. I can't fit in. And so because I couldn't fit in, I'm a threat. Because I don't do what y'all do. Whatever. Anyway, so from there, I excelled from that 1 year. By the end of the first year, I was already promoted as a trainer. a training coordinator for the very department that I just started working in as a entry-level operator in 1 year. Meanwhile, I've never done corporate security before. I've never been a console operator. Anyway, very high-paced, multitasking, multiple screens you're looking at once. You're taking calls and you're writing down your data entry, your remote. We was doing all this. Anyway, so the point is, though, I never did it before and I excelled and I got promoted to training coordinator. Okay, when I got promoted to training coordinator, I asked God again. I prayed that God keep my heart pure. And if there's any pride or anything that try to get up in me to think that because something's happening now and I'm getting up and up, I said, God, if you catch a smidget, I said, before it even happened, if you see me on the road, I don't care what you got to do, you get me out of it. I don't care what you got. If your right hand offends you, cut it off. Nah, bro. Are we really trying to live like that though? Huh? Because see, I want to give God space to move and operate. If there's no faith like that, just to boom, okay, God, you said what? I don't care how crazy it is. Leave my job. Oh, okay. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. That didn't happen for me overnight. Never, for real. That didn't happen to me overnight because I had a child that was getting ready to get into college and all that. So I needed to save that, and I was already living paycheck to paycheck. You feel me? So I was like, okay, Lord. And I already said that in my last video. So that was my excuse. That was one. But going to this and keeping my heart right, I got carried away. And I know when I got carried away this year. I got carried away this year because after it was 4 years of working, my credit finally started. I had bought a brand new 2019 Honda Accord in 2019. This was right after my husband died and I needed a car, and I said, well, this is going to last me until I quit work. That was in my head, like, this going to last me. I live in the South. My commute to work was always an hour there and an hour back. I needed a very reliable car. Everybody called me crazy and ridiculous that I got that car because why? The payments are crazy, this and that and the third. And it's like, but the payments are crazy for a used vehicle that's not new. Do you see? Don't tell me about monthly payments. I want that whole retail price. Because if you selling me an old car for brand new price, and then do I get credit? What's going on? All right. So, plus I needed credit. So that car helped me open. I knew what I was doing. Yes, I had to struggle to pay the thing, but guess what? I had the car 5 years, never missed a payment. If I had to get OT, if I had to go without eating, because this year would have been the year that the car was paid off. And they know it. I was this close. That's all right. And so I asked God, and when I got in that position, I felt myself. I felt myself because it's like the company at the time, like they catapulted me. They recognized the talent and they was like, oh, and she liked the work. We ain't got no problems out here. Like they used me for their media. I'm up there taking professional photos. I mean, I'll put it in the video if y'all need to see the truth. But I didn't want to put the company on blast. As I worked for 3 different companies this year alone. Never in my life have I done that. If I go to a job, I'm staying there forever until maybe I'm leaving the state or something. Because 3 jobs in 1 year, I tell you, the first one, that was my first one I had to walk away from. The one that I built everything on. 4 years. I had to walk away because of my daughter and what she did. So in the midst of me, oh my God, I still got these bills to pay and now I have no job and I still have to worry about her, this and that, third. I ran back and got me the second job. Now I'm in even more debt because if I already was working paycheck to paycheck with this and I'm making, here's my thing, I'm gonna tell you I was making $45,000 a year and I just hit 45. and I had my own place, my own car, nobody was helping me, then how did I do it? I didn't have no partner. I know people would love to act like they did it, but I got all my transactions, my lease with my name on it, my bank receipts, my money orders. I mean, I don't know. Okay, and mind you, I was supposed to be in my townhome for another year because I had just renewed the lease when my daughter decided to do that. And so still to this day, do you know their townhome is empty because I abruptly left after being there a year and paying my rent for no problem. They couldn't even rent it. It stopped their money flow as well, which I feel horrible about. Okay? But what happened. I've never been evicted before in my life. I'll tell you, I had apartments. I was always, what do you mean? Independent, self-sufficient. I know nobody wants you to think that because I don't know why it's such a jealous thing for them. I had a child at such a young age that it was imperative that I be self-sufficient and independent, especially because nobody was helping me. Don't mention my child's father. He's been non-existent for the first 10 years of her life. All right, so I just want to read this real quick because, see, when this thing first happened, as far as me walking away from my jobs, be that as it may, you might have rumors out there that I was fired. Not true. I walked away from every single one of those jobs, starting with the first one I had for 4 years. All 3 of these jobs I worked this year, but the first one I had for 4 years. The second one I got in the middle of the year, and I stayed 5 months and walked out. Okay, because it was a very, very overbearing witch that took a liking to me and seemed like her MO of her even being at that job was for me. Why do I say this? Because this woman lived in an entirely different state. Who does that? And you're driving all the way from Spartanburg, South Carolina to Charlotte, North Carolina for a job every day at 60-something years old. And not to mention, because she allowed me to see it was all for me. I'm not even going to get into it right now in this video, but second witch, all right? And so I walked off. I said, I can't deal with it. I got to go. And then I thought about it. Why am I still going to work? Because at that time, this was during the time when my daughter, when I was at the second job, this was the time when my daughter was gone. I put her out. I put my daughter out simply because my daughter was being very disrespectful. I mean, considering everything that you have already done to uproot and try to ruin us after I get this for us and I build this for us, and this is what you do to repay me, and then had no remorse about it. Like, oh, please, okay? And then still not doing anything. And then when I say something to you, you want to scream and yell or gaslight because oh man, I am going to get into my own seed. Okay, but just know what the Bible said, that a man's enemies is those of his own household. Oh, absolutely. And of course, I'll never forget what Satan told me when she was 1. If I can't have you, I'll have her. My God let me know that my child was initiated into witchcraft, and I had no idea. She chose, and I chose, and that's fine. My child was dabbling in witchcraft since she was down there with her daddy at 10 years old, because she told me she had friends in her school. Parents, listen to me, bro. This is just like Christianity is a religion and it's a normal thing. There's households that practice pagan witches and this and that third, and it's a normal thing. That's their religion, that's their culture. And so understand, when your children in school interacting with other children that you have no control over, you can't see, you're not there. Oh, be that as it may, I might have been an overbearing parent and I'm all up in your business. And no, I didn't want no life. She hated me because I wasn't like, yes, my daughter hated me. I wasn't like her friends' parents. Her friends is so mentally unstable. when you look at them and you talk to them, they're always depressed. And you could tell me that's teenager all day, but I was not no 24/7 depressed teenager. I hate life, oh, this and that. Nothing makes me happy but technology and bullying other people, because that's the people she was hanging around. Bullying jerks that hated themselves and other people. All right, we had identity crisis in her friend group, and I'm not even gonna get into specifics, but just know identity crisis. Okay, the disrespect that her friends would show. She would have me on the phone listening. Her friends would be cussing their parents out and this and that, and they think it's so funny. And I told her, I said, I wish you would. Yeah, I wish you would. You're gonna follow these people if you want. I wish you would. But she tried me. And so these are the people that she was hanging around. And so my daughter was telling me, yes, her friends, they were teaching her in the class. I'm talking about elementary. Elementary. And this is in Sumter, South Carolina. And so as I sit here and listen, and she was saying things like, I missed you so much, and this and that and the third, and something said in my spirit, did this child try to manifest me back in her life? Because first of all, I wasn't even supposed to go down there and get her. Facts. God didn't tell me to do that. God told me to send her, and I took it upon myself. You see how this happened? Because I was disobedient. I listened to my people, my family. Oh, why is she down there? I don't understand what's the big deal. That's her family. How many people co-parent? At least he's finally doing something. Give me 2 years rest after 10 years. Shit. Excuse my language, but I'm just saying. For real. They was acting like it was such a big deal. Now, all before, y'all, we were facing homelessness, and they didn't care. And she was much younger. But because she's not in my presence no more, where they can use her to control me, it's a problem. Oh, they was all the help in the world. Oh, let me tell you something. My family's very resourceful. And if they gonna help you, oh yeah, you best believe they gonna get it done. Okay, I only experience glimpses of these moments with them, and it's always when it's something involved for them. And so my sister helped me get in touch with the sheriff of South Carolina. I'm going there, I'm calling. I said I need an escort, right? Because my baby daddy and them was still hiding out. Couldn't see them. All right, he went to give me the address or nothing. Because he was so scared I was going to get her back. I didn't give her to you though. I gave her to your grandmother. But that's neither here nor there. Fine, whatever. And so we're down there. I'm trying to find the house. I got it mixed up. My daughter didn't really know her own address. I feel like she was just scared or whatever. It was I don't know. Anyway, because I always felt like my daughter came back to destroy me. I said that. I said you was down there with your father, and I wouldn't put it past you that y'all have made a pact to destroy me. Facts. Okay? And so at the end, she, oh, mom, all right, but look, I never thought she would gang up with these folks that raised me, who she always tell me, Mom, you need to leave them alone. I hate what they do to you. I hate how you become when you're around them. You always let them bother you. You just need, and she never wanted to go to their house. Anytime I was going, she would stay home, or if I make her come, as soon as she get in that house, she would go in the back room and close the door away from everybody. My family was already used to my daughter, okay? And so at the end of the day, I couldn't believe that she decided to side with them. Whatever, at the end of the day. So I felt like she manifested, or, tried to manifest, because this is what she was talking about. And I said, what? And of course, when she came here, I already knew there's witches on every corner. I'm looking at her friends wearing witch symbols and stuff around their neck and stuff like that. I mean, they are bullying spirits. Same energy. And so, what do you expect? And you're telling me about people wanting you to join sororities and this and that and the third. And okay. Now, the whole time I had my daughter in that early college program, do you know that she was never grateful for that? She felt like it wasn't a big deal. Why couldn't I just go to the regular high school with the rest of my friends? I don't want to go to college. The whole time I had her in there, she said she did not want to go to college at all. And I begged her, well, Sonara, at least you'll still have the option. It's free, this and that and the third. Okay? And then boom, you get kicked out. And now all of a sudden, oh, we need college. At the end of the day, bro. My point is, when I disobey God, I pay big time. I pay big time, bro. Because the night that I did not go back to work, that last time, do you know what he did? This is what he brought me to. No, because I forgot and I got a little carried away and I got distracted. I did. And it became something that God couldn't recognize anymore. Okay, is it just to take care of your child, or is this becoming something else now? Because you're getting a little carried away. And when I moved in that place that night, I remember I said, I did this. Look at what I told you I was going to do it. So now I did. And God came straight away to me and burst my bubble and say, excuse me? Because first of all, I had a dream about the place before I even saw the place. Before I even saw the place, I told Sonar, it's going to be the same type of setup. I already seen the rooms. I already seen the bathrooms. It's exactly what I want. Plus the bigger exactly to the T. Everything that I wanted in the places that I wanted it. Even to confirm the cross street with my maiden name, my last name. And so for me to sit there and talk about, I did this. Oh yes, I was on the up and up. Oh yes, nobody can tell me that. Oh, my credit was 743. You know what my credit is today? And that happened in 1 year. It took me 4 years almost to build that. 4. Please. And so guess what? No. And it all started with me going to get her. Well, I shouldn't have done. And now look. So here's the word he brought me to. Say ye unto your brethren, Ami, and unto your sister, Ruma, plead with your mother. Plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms. All right, this is what whoredoms is. We don't get it when we have other idols and other gods and other things that we believe in more than the God of the covenant. Okay, right. Whoredoms out of her sight, because I knew better. Okay. And her adulteries from between her breasts, lest I strip her naked. And set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms, for their mother hath played the harlot. She that conceived them hath done shamefully, for she say, I will go after my lovers that give me my bread and my water and my wool and my flax and my oil and my drink. That's what I was doing. Well, God, I need my bills paid. I'm making good money here. I never had a job that was like, we're able to do everything. Right? Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns, and make a wall that she shall not find her paths. I couldn't. Nobody would hire me. Everything locked down. Shut down. I thought it was secured. I broke through one of the hedges. I got the interview. Boom. 2 minutes before the interview, the guy called me and tell me, I'm sorry, we've hired someone already, but thank you. If we have another opening, we'll keep you on the list for future references. Thank you. Wow. And mind you, my interview was scheduled like weeks in advance. Wow. Okay. So, and she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them, and she shall seek them and shall not find them. Then she shall say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then was it better with me than now. Okay, so I was still running like a fool. Okay, for she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for what? Bow. Okay, therefore will I return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and I will recover my wool and my flax seeds given to cover her nakedness. And now will I discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver. Nobody deliver me. Nope. None shall deliver her out of mine hand, in the hands of God. Okay. I will also cause her mirth to cease, her feast days and her new moons and her Sabbaths and all her solemn feasts, and I will destroy her vines and her figs, and where she said, these are my rewards that my lover hath given me, and I will make them a farce, and the beasts of the field shall eat them, and I will visit upon her the days of Balaam, wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with her earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers and forgot me, saith the Lord. Therefore, behold, I will allure her, look, and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably with her, and I will give her vineyards from thence and valley of Anchor and all this, the door of hope. Because this the thing is, we so locked down and distracted, we ain't got time. Great, now I gotta rip everything from you just so and not only that, but keep it away from you, then remove you and throw you in the wilderness, and then I could sit down and talk to you comfortably. So this is the thing he just confirming with me again today as I ask, what steps should I take? Same word, I don't know what I was looking for.
I love you for infinity.